from the massive technological nightmare from Wednesday, but we've got a rally right now. I'm wondering, do you believe this? Because one sort of hiccup in the voting process, which, by the way, the second the parliament starts to vote, we're going to let our viewers know this market could gyrate pretty dramatically.
Yeah, it could. I mean, listen, we're a long way from home here, and we're going to have to watch through the weekend. There's lots of people that are going to have to ratify whatever agreement comes out, both in the European Parliament, in the Bundestag, and also in the Greek Parliament. So we're making progress, and it is constructive. But again, we're a very long way from getting this done. If we have the slightest hiccup, we've been trading on the latest headline coming out of either Athens, Brussels, or Berlin, and I think we'll continue to see this. What I want to see, though, in the market as it relates to today is this is the most constructive day of the 5, obviously. We've faded yesterday. I want to see us continue to rally into the close, hold these levels, and then I'll feel much better about the trade on Monday, especially if we get a good agreement over the weekend.
We're showing these intradays of the NASDAQ and every other major index, and yeah, we are ending exactly where we started. It pretty much looks like that. But Trent, I don't know, when Keith says Bundestag, I get all wiggly in my knees. But you have Jean-Claude Juncker, who is the European Commission president. He has said earlier this week, we have a Grexit scenario prepared and are ready to use. Don't count out the European Commission saying it's not enough, but it does start to look like it is enough. And as we look at the crowds that are gathering outside, it's now become a story of what happens next. And what do you see? Any flight to quality? Because right now people are pouring right back into equities.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Well, we may get a flight to quality, Liz. It just depends on what happens this weekend. And about face on Greece's side, issues on the creditor side, as Keith alluded to, in terms of accepting a proposal. There's no doubt that we could see flows back into safe haven markets. We're seeing treasuries down big today as we flow back to a risk-on scenario. I'm just not sure that, I mean, albeit the Greece headlines are certainly shaping market sentiment day to day, the moves, as you've talked about, they're probably a little more exaggerated from a standpoint of what the tangible effect would be. And I think for that reason, short term, I think traders can continue to fade rallies in safe haven markets that are headline driven. We're seeing it happen today. I think if we do get a hiccup this weekend and we see an influx in price movement upwards in these safe haven markets, I would be a fan of selling those rallies because I just don't think they'll last. I think eventually they'll get something done. And even if they don't, I think the situation's probably warranting a little more leverage than what it really will be.
I've heard people say they've been riding the wave. They've been buying low, selling high, even if it means it's a 24-hour process each time. Buy low one day, sell high later. Jeff, looking at what's going on with oil, that is very much more, I would say, an Iran nuclear deal question, and that date has been pushed out to Monday. But if it's a yes and there is an Iran nuclear deal, we start to get more supply out onto the open market. Price continues to come down.
Well, again, like as with all, let's say, these type of geopolitical decisions and the like, it's a matter of perception. So again, like you said, if that is a deal, it's going to assume there's going to be more product on the market, and it will have a downward effect or so. I, again, of course, try to stay a little more focused on a domestic situation here, and I'm more interested in, let's say, how our driving season is shaping up, which has been pretty much a disappointment considering some of the early forecasts. So again, I see a market that is still under pressure and continues to be under pressure from all those type of factors.
Jeff, Trent, Keith, it's been a brutal week, hasn't it? Yes. Thanks, guys, so much. Try and relax over the weekend, but we're not relaxing at all right now because a vote is imminent in the Greek Parliament.